Welcome back to our 20 foot by 20 foot shed project here in SketchUp for Schools. In our previous episode, we went and started working on the closet sliding door. So we went into 3D Warehouse, downloaded a sliding barn door. We didn't want the actual door, so we exploded some of the groups, got rid of the door itself, but we kept the handles, which are currently in a group on their own and hidden, so that they're out of the way. We then brought in, and we are using the sliding part. We manipulated that to get it kind of set where we want it to be and the width that we want it to be. And then we created the trim for both front door and closet door. In this episode, we're going to finish up the closet door, and we're going to make it in the same fashion that our garage door was made. So first thing we want to do is we want to kind of clear a space to be able to get access to the closet door really well. And so what we're going to do is over here in our tape measure, you're going to click on the section plane. What the section plane does is that it creates a section cut there in whichever direction you make it. So this is along the green axis. This one is now along the blue axis, and that's along the red axis. We want to be along the green axis, so make sure that is green on the very back side of your shed. So click. You see that we now have a section plane that covers the entire width of our project. It goes from one side of your project all the way to the other. If you take your selection tool and you click on it, you'll notice over here in your outliner panel that we now have a little icon for section. I can toggle this on and off. We can come over here to move tool, and as we move it, you'll see that everything disappears. So we want to move it to where it is just in front of our closet door. Come over here and hide the section cut. Deselect that, and that's going to get rid of the actual plane itself. That allows us to get access to our building really easily without having to worry about anything on the other side. So now over here, I want to create two guides, one on each side of the door trim. So just double click there to create those on each side. We're going to create a guide from the very bottom going up 5.5. Take your rectangle tool and draw in a rectangle from one side over to the other. Select your P key for the push-pull tool, and we're going to pull this out 1.5 in order to create our 2x6. Hit your selection tool, triple click, right click on it, and make it a component. We're going to go ahead and name this closet underscore 2x6 underscore bottom. I want to move this up just a bit, so I'm going to move this up 0.5. Then take your top corner, hit Control to make a copy of it, and we're going to move this one up to the top. Go ahead and place it there in the top corner. And from that top corner, we're going to move it up 1/2 inch. And actually, let's move it up another 1/2 inch to a full inch. So now this right here should be 1 inch from that top mark. Now we're going to create the sides. So the sides are just like the garage door. These are going to be 2x6s as well. Make sure your line is red. We're going to go 5.5. Take your rectangle tool. We're going to go from the upper left corner down. Use your mouse and your keyboard shortcuts to move down. Go to the bottom right hand corner. Take your push pull tool, and we're going to pull this out. You can type in 5 point, or you can type in 1.5, or you can inference that bottom face in order to make sure that is 1.5 and that lines up. Go ahead and click. Come in here, triple click on it, make sure that everything's selected, and let's make it a group again. This is going to be closet 2x6 left. Take your move tool. We want to move it from this corner. Hit Control to make a copy. Come over and line it up with the other side. So now we have the outside ring. We want to do the center. Take your tape measure and let's find that center point. So that is our center point. 3 3/8, 3 3/8. So from that center point, we're going to go up 2.75, and we're going to go down 2.75. Making sure that your line when you're doing this is blue or whatever color you're going for. That way you know it's straight. Take the overall measurement should be our 5.5. Take your rectangle tool, and we're just going to go from the one side all the way over to the other. Take your push pull tool, and we're going to pull this in our 1.5. We're then going to right click, make that a component, and type it in using how we've been doing with our naming conventions. So we have those. Now we're going to create the 1x. This one's going to be a little different as we're going to start from the very back. So take your tape measure. This is going to be 3.5. From the very back edge, I'm going to come up to 0.75. So that is the measurement of a 1x4, 3.5 by 0.75. Take your rectangle tool and connect our dots. We're going to use the push-pull tool in order to pull that up. You can use your scroll wheel in order to use your orbit tool on your mouse. Hold that down, hold down shift in order to pan. And go ahead and click the very top. And like always, let's turn this into a component. You want to make sure that you always turn these into components, because we will come in here later on and put in materials, and we don't want to do extra work that we don't have to, because if all these are groups, that means that I have to manually go in here and put all the textures into every single board, whereas if they're components, I only have to do the individual ones that are different. So this is going to be a closet, 1x4, and we'll do slats. Go ahead and click OK. So now I have one. Now I just need to hit Control, make a copy, move it over, then hit X, and let's try 10. Let's try 9, 8, 7, so 8. So do X8. And I can keep going as long as I want to, until I click on something. So if you're ever not sure, that's how that works. So X8, come in here. So we're going to find our slats. So hit the top one in your outliner panel, hold down shift, click on the last one. We're going to right click, we're going to make that a group. I'm going to right click, rename that group, and I'm just going to name it our hit enter so don't forget. So that is that. We're then going to take this, hover over our bottom corner, hit control, and we're going to bring that all the way down, making sure that our line is blue. If you need to, hit the up arrow key in order to make it stick to the blue axis. Hover over the corner, and there we go. Let's erase our guides. We have our one small piece left, which is our cross braces. So come in here. This is going to be another 2x6. Go from one corner down. You can stop about halfway. Take a push-pull tool, and we're going to pull this out 3/4 of an inch. So this is a 1x6. Triple click. Let's make this a component. Make it a component. This is going to be closet 1x6 cross brace. Come in here with our rotate tool. It requires 3 clicks, one to place it, another to set the 0, and then we'll come over here and we're going to kind of eyeball where that goes. Select your line tool, right click. We're going to edit the component first. Everything else should be green except for our cross brace. Go across that line. If you hit the space bar to bring your selection tool, you'll know you did it correctly whenever both of these are able to be selected. If you click on one and the whole entire thing selects, that means that you didn't draw this on the line, and just go in there and redo it. Once you have it correctly, go in here, inference that back side, and click, and that'll get rid of it. Let's go down here to the other side. Select your line tool, draw in your line, use your push-pull tool, and get rid of that bottom part. We still have our guides here, so we're going to draw one more. We're going to go from the bottom this time, going up. Make that inference the back side. We're going to triple click on it, right click, make this a component. So closet 1x6 cross brace bottom. Click OK. Use our rotate tool, and let's once more rotate. Rotate this one, eyeball where it needs to go, and click. Take your line tool, edit component, and let's draw in our where this needs to go. Again, using those keyboard shortcuts really speeds up your process. And there you go. Clean everything up. We're going to go over here to our outliner panel, and we're going to group up the entire closet part. So first thing we want to do is over here with the door part, we're going to group up the door itself. So we're going to hold down shift, or you can hit control, and we're just going to come in here and click on all of the door part. So everything in the door should be selected now. Right click on somewhere's on the blue part, and we're going to make that a group. Right click, rename that group, and this is going to be closet door. Hit enter. If you did it correctly, if we hide that, the entire door will be hidden. We're going to leave everything else alone for now, because in our next group, we will go in there. In our next video, we're going to go in and we'll take a look at our handles and do our front door. So the handles we'll worry about in a little bit, and the front door we will worry about in a bit. So this is the end of this episode. Make sure you save your project. Make sure you go through and everything is correct in your outliner panel. Make sure your section plane is still up like it is on my screen. Take your screenshots, take multiple, put in your dimensions for your door, and turn in at least 2 screenshots into our assignment. Thank you for watching this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes in this playlist.